But have you ever experienced the brook drying up in your life? You decide to follow God more intently, and all hell breaks loose. You're baptized, and all of a sudden things go unexplainably wrong, and you're wondering, why is it that God allowed this to happen? God convicts you on something, and all of a sudden, you obeying that thing seems very, very difficult. The drying of the brook was not punishment, it was preparation. When the brook dries up, it's often a sign that God is positioning you for what's coming. But listen to what you've got to do. You've got to stay there. You don't move. You don't try to provide for yourself. You trust in faith. You wait for the word from the Lord. And when He speaks and gives you that provision, you obey. Elijah's story, it's our story. I want to take you back to Shackleton. There they were. They abandoned ship. They were all surviving on these lifeboats that were on top of the ice. They, of course, had to scrap their mission. That could not move forward. They lost their most precious tools. They lost almost everything. So the question is, what would they do? Eventually, this is a long story, I can't tell the whole thing. Eventually, they made it to an uninhabited island. But they knew they would have to go beyond that. They would need a call for a rescue party. And so Shackleton and 5 other men, they hopped into one of those boats and they set sail in one of their tiny little lifeboats for a place that was 800 miles away. I remind you, this was before the time of GPS. And so they set sail and they said, listen, we will be back. And just imagine with me these weeks and months of isolation from this crew that was left behind. Imagine their despair. Imagine their fears. Imagine their worry. Notice this quote from one of the men that was left behind. He says, "When we gave up hope, the only thing we had left to do was trust that Shackleton was coming." And he did. It's a crazy, wild, heroic story. I mean, he ended up making it to an island. He ended up finding civilization once again. They ended up coming back and rescuing, and not one man was lost. So what do you do when the brook dries up? You trust. You obey. You believe that God is going to take care of His people.